Hey guys,
Welcome back, episode 4.
of Every Dirty Detail.
Who is excited? Kind of
Me.
am.
Me. I'm excited.
So today we're going to talk about friendships.
Yes. Friendships, what friendship means to us, and we also asked other people what it means to them. So we have their responses we'll go through. Also, kind of just chatting about a lot of things surrounding friendships, as well as if we've ever had to cut a friend off.
Block them.
Or as Ashley says, block. Always the block.
My favorite button.
I've seen a lot of
memes on
Instagram
it.
reels and stuff about that ever since we've talked about it.
The NSA listens to us.
Yeah, all of it is all about.
I have
blocking
stuff
people.
I have to send you.
I die.
Oh, I sent you one. I think the other day.
Oh, probably. All my stuff is like that, or like just different things that we've talked about, and it all pops up. And like some of these things are so not relevant to my life, but like
the block button, guys.
I'm just over here like, yep, liking it all.
So what's friendship to you?
Why you gonna put me on the spot first? Shit. I would say big things with me are loyalty, because I feel like that's something that's huge when it comes to friendships, and I don't feel like a lot of friendships always have that. Or, I mean, I have 3 friends, guys. Like I literally have 3 friends, so this is this is just that.
So annoying.
3 friends, so this is not my topic. Clearly, I did not pick this. Ashley did, because I don't have friends. But anyway, I would say
dramatic.
Loyalty is huge for me, especially not just loyalty like to me, but like loyalty behind my back.
True.
I always think that that's a huge thing. If I've never, anytime someone's ever come to me and said, this person said this, this, and this about you, I always sit back and wonder, like, okay, but why were they comfortable telling you that? If you're supposed to be one of my good friends, why did they feel comfortable telling you that? And also, like, what did you say back? Did you just listen, or did you have my back?
True.
But so loyalty, someone that's trustworthy is huge. Like if I can't trust you with my children, you're definitely, I don't even consider you a friend.
That right
Probably
there.
why I only have 3 of them.
My kid. My kid. Like, you said it.
Yep. If I can't trust you alone in a room with my man, we're not friends. We're not friends.
I feel like a lot of people deal with that.
A lot of our stories I feel like have dealt with that between family and friends, but no, that's a no-go.
And not even just that, I think just in general in this world.
Yeah. That's a no-go for me. No.
I hear crazy stories at work from either like meal tags or just customers.
Yeah.
Just people on the street. Like,
but I also feel like other than, trustworthy, loyalty, someone that wants to lift me up, someone who's there to listen to me without judging me.
Someone you can talk to about somebody 8,000 times.
Yes. And I've done that. I've gone through breakups before, and select people I have literally probably repeated myself 1,000 times to. They never got mad at me, never judged me for it.
You just let it out.
They just, exactly. And I feel like that's a cycle you need to go through. So having someone that understands that and can help you through it, like helping someone through a breakup is huge.
Yeah. Guys, the bitch is going through it.
It is huge. I just feel like I don't ask for much. I always value the friendships where we can just sit on the couch together and literally not even speak, but just be in each other's presence and we're fine. If I can call you at, 2 a.m. because I just had a fight with someone and I need to talk to you about it, and you're not going to be bothered by me. You're not going to be bothered by my issues and the things I'm trying to vent about, and you're going to let me vent. You're going to not only let me vent too, but be honest with me.
Yep.
Not someone who's going to sugarcoat things back to me, but they're going to be honest with me. And I like someone who I can say, okay, I just dealt with this. This is how I responded. This is how this person responded. Like, am I in the wrong? And they're going to say, honestly, like, yeah, you're in the wrong. Maybe if you did this differently or that differently. And then I'm like,
it would have been a different outcome.
Yeah. And I can take a step back and be like, damn, okay, maybe I was in the wrong.
Yeah.
Someone that can tell you that you're in the wrong is huge, but how you say it too.
And you need someone, like, if you're in a funk. Well, I talked to you yesterday because I was just really bad day.
Yeah, and you just need to let it out, and
Just for somebody
that's
just to
that.
kind of like hear me out and like understand a little bit of what I'm dealing with and stuff like that, and kind of just like, oh, all right, kind
Mhm.
of a wake up call, not in a bad way, but kind of like shake you out of it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you need that. Because there's just times that like you're just lately, it's like I felt like the whole world is on me. But sometimes I just need to reach out to certain people, and then it's like a snap, and I'm like, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, all right, I can go to work. I'm fine.
But it's also knowing what people those are.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously, I mean, you have more friends than me, so
Can't stand
I'm
you.
assuming not every single person that you're friends with you'd reach out to about every single thing. Like,
Not
I'm sure there's
everything.
certain things that you're like, no, I know that
Well,
this
you know, my best
person's.
friend, I tell him everything. So.
Yeah, we know. Besides that, I feel like.
But what I'm dealing with now, like sometimes it's just like a group of girls and they know who they are, little brunch baddies. They've been through it. So if I'm upset about something, they're like, it's normal. We went through it, and stuff
Validate
like
your
that.
feelings.
Yeah, because some days I'm just overthinking it or like, am I crazy and stuff like that. But to hear that they went through it and letting me know it's normal to feel either angry or upset with like this whole divorce process, separation process, for them to tell me like it's normal.
Mm-hmm.
We went through it and stuff like that. So having some people gone through what I'm dealing with now, it is a lot easier just to like let them know, because it's like, yeah, I went through it. And everyone has like their own situation, and stuff like that. But for them to be like, I went through that. I know how you feel and stuff. So that is a big thing for me. But with other things, like I go to you for certain things, my best friend and my other friends for like certain like advice or like situations and stuff like that. But especially through this whole process, like it's been easy just to like, someone says if I'm okay, oh, some days I may cry.
Which is normal, natural.
But
Given everything.
I've learned that it's okay to cry. It's not a weakness. I've
Mm-hmm.
been learning that it's not a weakness. My nail tech was telling me that today. It's not a weakness to cry. So sometimes you just gotta let it out and go from there. Cause if not, I may catch a case.
We don't need that.
No. We don't want to go off of anger and emotion. So I try to.
But I think you've gotten a lot better at that. I do think you reach out to people a lot more. And
Yeah, I'm not staying closed up and not. I felt like I was bothering people, and I had to deal with it by myself and not asking, not so much help, but for somebody to listen and stuff. And I had to figure out who I can talk to about certain steps and certain situations with this whole process.
mm-hmm.
And that's, now it's been easier, but I did felt like I just had to do it by myself, and that just wasn't healthy for me.
Yeah.
So I'm not a hot mess right now.
No, I think you've gotten a lot better. And I mean, I don't know how many times in the beginning of all this I told you, you're not bothering me. You're not bothering me. It is okay. You can call me. It's fine. I don't care. I don't care. You can call. Like,
Yeah.
I just think, obviously you were going through it, so you needed that time. But to know that you're not bothering somebody is huge.
Yeah. That I had to learn, because I felt like it was a big bother for a lot of people. Just even to listen, or even like you said, just to sit on the couch with somebody and
just be there.
just be
have someone in your
there, even if I
presence.
just want to cry, or just sit there and just silence and just be there.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have, besides my kids always being there, but
Yeah.
I try not to be sad with them. But I mean, I feel like that's what friendship is. I've learned a lot about it these last few months, of how like important having friends are, family too, and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
you don't always want to tell your family everything. So I don't.
I get it. I get it. Especially if, for me, it's whenever I'm arguing with Ray, I don't want to really tell my family about it because I don't want them to think anything of him or think differently or anything like that because we're obviously still together. So it's always
And
that
even,
weird thing where it's like, oh, I need to vent this
yeah.
out, but I don't want them to look at him differently. And I don't want them to feel a certain way towards that person when, I just need to vent. I just need to get it off my system. I need to get it out. I need to put it out there. But it's hard because you got to like pick and choose when you can say certain things.
Yeah. I mean, there's times that
subjects.
I just like, I'll get in the car and I just scream, let it out, grab my coffee, and I'm out the door.
All right, we're good now.
You just gotta let it out. Sometimes you just want to yell and like, what the hell? But I mean, it's a process. You just deal. I mean, I've been just going with emotions lately. Some days are good, some days are just bad.
Yeah.
But we deal. But also, we can start this subject first because some people feel like you can't be friends with the opposite sex.
I don't feel that way.
No, I know you don't. I know you don't.
Your brother does.
Yeah, that's your problem. Because I've been friends with my best friend for 24 years.
Such a long time.
Yeah. 24 years.
And he's a male.
Yes. And I love his wife. Me and her actually hang out. We get along. But usually when I tell people like I have a guy that's a best friend, they're like, "You guys slept together?" No. Never. Never. We've never. No. But I do like it because sometimes I get like that male perspective of certain situations.
Yes.
And he'll be like, "Bitch, you crazy. Like, calm the fuck down."
See, that's someone that can like put you back in check. Like,
yeah.
No, you're being a little wild right now.
Or sometimes he's like, "Let's be petty." Like,
those are the best times.
I love petty talks. But it's really good. But then I do have a lot of friends that are girls and stuff like that. But I do like that I can like be like, hey, even if one of my friends is in a situation like with a guy, I'm like, listen, like she's dealing with this and this, like what should she do? Or like how would he be thinking? And it's really good because like he is a guy and like
he can give you that male perspective. I agree. I think that's
valuable.
valuable.
And I like, be like, oh, he said maybe let's try this or like, you know what I mean? Like something like that. So you can be friends with the opposite sex and not have sex with them. It is possible. Like usually when I tell people they're like, no, because you asked.
In my defense, I didn't ask because you guys were male female best friends. I asked because you guys are genuinely really close.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I had male best friends growing up for a very long time that I never, ever, ever slept with, and we were close like that. But I don't know. You guys are so close. You guys hang out all the time. So I just asked, like, did it ever happen in the past? I was just curious.
Never. Like, even, and I told you, I think we've probably like, oh my God, hugged maybe like 3 or 4 times in 24 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, never, ever.
No, I definitely think that you can do that. But I also think that when you come into a relationship, and you have a best friend of the opposite sex,
that we dealt with a lot.
Okay, I never knew that, but that I feel like is something that you need to address right away.
Yeah, if before his wife, he dated some he did females and stuff like that, and they're like, "You're sleeping with her," and I'm like, "Ew, no." First of all, he's definitely not my type. Like, he's not my type. But we dealt with that, like, because we talk as much as we do, and like we're so comfortable with each other. We literally talk about everything that females always assume that we slept together and stuff like that. Or when I tell people that my best friend's a guy, they're like, and he's married, they're like, how does his wife feel? I'm like, she's cool. Like, me and her went out a couple weekends ago and like stuff like that. Our kids are close. Like, I'm close with his family. Like, he's close with my family. So some people are like, no, like that's impossible and stuff like that. But we did deal with like that because they're just like, no, you can't be friends with her and like stuff like that. I mean, if I dated a guy, they're like, there's no way in hell you guys. And I'm like, no, Never, nothing, ever at all. Like, we're like literally like brother and sister, but we like each other. Like, we get along.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. Like, we're literally like a brother and sister. Like, I've never looked at him in an attractive way. He's never looked at me in that kind of way either. And it just, I don't know, we finish each other's sentences.
Yeah, literally best friends. Like,
He's my little soulmate. But I mean, it works for us. It may not work for a lot of people, but
I think it's all like how it goes about. I mean, Ray had a female best friend when we first met.
I forgot about that.
And that didn't go well. Not, I mean, for a multitude of reasons.
Well, yeah.
But I tried at first. He came into the relationship and, you know, had a female best friend. I tried to be friendly. Things just happened and it was just not
I've had
the thing, but
my nail tech asked me because she knew my best friend's a guy, and she had been in a situation that her boyfriend, this girl, claimed that they were best friends, but she was like, your best friend shouldn't be like sitting on top of you, like.
Yes, like there's lines, there's
And
boundaries.
so she asked me because she knew how long I've been best friends, and I was like, ew, never.
Yes.
Like, that, I know, because I feel like that's a big like no, especially like if they're in a relation. Like, first of all, I just think that's gross. Like, no, because I hear a lot of like, oh, we're best friends, so we can like cuddle in bed together and like.
No.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
no. People like, don't you guys go out and drink together? We do. We have, like, when we were younger and stuff like that. Like, and if I've had to stay at his house and stuff like that, like, he literally would sleep on the floor and I'm on the bed. Like, that's just what it is. And like, people think like if you have a best friend of the opposite sex, you guys are hooking up. You're not.
No, that's not always the case. And like I said, that's why I think there needs to be clear boundaries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because I agree when you get into a relationship and you see if they're acting a certain way, you know, okay, this is either they're more than friends, they were more than friends at one point,
and they hooked up or something, because
exactly,
it's just,
because there shouldn't,
or one of them
that
has
level of comfort is
an attraction to the other one.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't say, oh, that's my best friend, but like I'm secretly like attracted. You can't, because that's gonna like take over your friendship, and then eventually it just ruins it.
Mm-hmm.
So I've never heard, no.
But I also think that you guys do a good way of like respecting partners.
Yeah.
Like every time I've seen you guys together, you guys have never crossed any weird line or made any situation feel like it, oh, that was weird. Nothing ever like that. So there's nothing for Jamie to question. And that is a huge like part of it, I think, because she never questioned anything, because you guys don't act any sketchy way.
Yeah, no, and she knows like how I am and stuff like that. So like, even if it's just me and him going out, she's like, bye.
Have fun. Give me a break.
She's totally fine with it. And when I tell people that like me and her can hang out and stuff like that together, and it's not just because of like the kids, like me and her can actually like go out, whether it's like hanging out with like other friends or like getting like drinks or something like that, but it's never just because of the kids.
Yeah.
But it is a respect of boundaries and stuff like that. Like, I don't know, like that we have our own like set of, I think we have our own set of boundaries without realizing we have our own set of boundaries. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because we've never had to like physically like say the boundaries, but like I think me and him just know.
You just have that understanding.
Yeah. Of the boundaries when it comes to like our relationships and stuff like that. But it's worked out to the point like I can hang out with her, or all three of us hang out and stuff like that, and it's a fun time. Like, I can tell you stories of all three of us going out and going to the club. Like, it's just a fun time. And then I feel like for me, it's a plus because how close our kids are.
Yes.
And I'm very grateful because he is the godfather for both of my children, and like she loves my kids just as much as like they were her own kids. And I love their kids like if they were mine. So it's just an amazing thing to have like a friendship like that. And even like,
but not everyone can do it.
No,
not everybody can
even
have
like his parents like adore them. He's the same with my parents, and like his siblings, the same with like mine. Like it just works out for us, and I'm very grateful for the both of them. Especially her because she has to tolerate the both of us.
God bless Jamie.
She literally has to tolerate both of us. But even with everything going on that I've been dealing with, she's been so supportive. Like even if I call crying or anything, she's, I feel like most women would be like, enough's enough already. Like,
Yes.
and she's like, she'll even check in on me, like, how you doing? I know you were crying. Like, it's just been a real like blessing. So that's why I say like she deals with the both of us, and I'm very grateful for her in so many ways. She probably doesn't even know, but very grateful, especially going through all of this, that like she's like, if I'm up on the phone with him just crying or something, she's like fine with it. Because I feel like some women would be like a little insecure about that, like your man on the phone with somebody at 1 a.m, or like
I agree.
taking you
I would
for a
probably get a little
ride
jealous.
just to like for you to cool down because
Yeah.
you're just so overwhelmed with stuff, and she's fine with it. Like she gets it and stuff like that. And too, like we don't hang out every day. But like, he helps me out with my kiddos, I help with theirs and stuff like that. But I'm beyond grateful, especially what I've been dealing with, that she's just like, he's like, let's go for a ride, and it's like 1 a.m, and she's fine with it. So
Yeah.
but I feel like some women would not be okay with that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I'd probably get a little jealous. A little jealous at some point, I think I would.
But I feel like that jealousy would be if their relationship showed something for you to be concerned about.
Yes.
Because I've had to deal with that
Mm-hmm.
in my previous relationship, that like it was just inappropriate, the relationship that they had. Like I've been best friends with a guy for so long that it's never been, certain messages weren't like, it's just no. So for me, it's like if they provoke you to a way to feel jealous, like then you have a reason to start popping the fuck off.
That right there, that is it.
For me, like, because I could be cool. Like it could be whatever. But I feel like if you feel like to a point that like either you've seen something or they interact in a certain way that you're just like, nah, because that's my man.
It could even be something as little as a comment.
Yeah.
Or gesture. Or even doing something behind your partner's back or without your partner's knowledge, I guess. Like, I don't picture Eli ever leaving the house and going out to dinner with you, but not letting Jamie know.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big part of it too, is, if you're going to go out to lunch or something and not let your partner know that you're going to do that, like, yeah, I'm going to feel some type of way.
Yeah.
That's going to be an uncomfortable situation for me, because why would you not tell me? Like, why are you making it seem like you're hiding that from me? Because now I think it's something that
something's going on.
Something,
no, totally. So I feel like if you're like if you see and like, it's just no. Like again, that's where the boundaries have to be in play. Like I mean, when they first started dating, like he let her know, this is my best friend and stuff like that. And me and her did hang out in the beginning, and stuff like that, and like everything. I didn't want her to feel uncomfortable either. Like,
but that's huge on your part. A lot of other people wouldn't do that. They wouldn't care if you felt uncomfortable or not, and that's a huge thing.
And you want happiness for your friends and stuff like that, and all that kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm cool. And then me and her ended up working at the same place together. So it just like I feel very blessed because it worked out really well with me. But some people like just don't have that luxury of having a friend of the opposite sex. I mean, don't get me wrong, I have a lot of friends that are females. I really do. But like, I don't know, mine and Eli's bond is very different. That's why I said he's like my bestie soulmate, because we get each other. We don't judge each other. Especially like we've both gone through a lot of crap. But he's literally been like, throughout what I've been dealing with this divorce, has been my rock. And if we don't talk every day, that's totally fine, because I'll message him and it's like, I don't have to say good morning, good afternoon.
Yeah.
Be like, yo, bro, guess what happened? And it'll be like that. Like we can go like a couple days without talking to each other and it's like nothing. Some people like have friendships that like you have to talk to them every day because they feel some type of way if you don't. When it that's fine, but sometimes like you just want to like you want to be left alone. And I can do that with him because that's just how our friendship is. Like that's just how it is with us. But I mean, I all the praise to her because she deals with them both of us.
She does.
She
God bless her.
She truly has to deal with the both of us, but she's everything though. It's like she's my little boo. So
there you go.
All right. Do you want to add anything else to the opposite sex of friendships?
No.
No. Okay.
I mean, yeah, no. I had amazing ones growing up. I was lucky growing up.
And I feel too.
I mean, actually, yeah, one of my best friends in high school, we used to share a locker together and everything. He was great. Messy. Kept the locker very messy. But I mean, still to this day, you know, if I ever needed to call him, I bet he'd be there. Who knows? I like to think so in my head that I'd have people there for me.
Especially too when you have kids, like you said, you need to be able to trust people around your children because we live in such a scary world right now that
we really do.
I don't know about you, but dropping the kids off at school, like some days it's just like, and if it's like I'm like freaking out because Ari's going to middle school next year, and I'm like the anxiety of like that. But I know if I can call you. Ari needs to be picked up from school. Like you'll go get her. I know Eli will go get her. Like my brothers will go get her. Like and stuff like that. And having a certain group of people that you can trust with your children is a lot.
Huge.
It's huge for me because like they're gonna protect those kids like if they were their kids. Like that's just how it is. And you don't see that a lot with people. Like they're like, not my kid, not my problem. That's what it is with some people. So that's one thing I'm very grateful every day. And then for our kids, so hopefully they're gonna be besties. Yeah. When they get older and stuff like that.
And it just continues.
Especially the two little ones. Oh my god, those two are like everything. Vivian and Carter are everything to me. So yeah.
You want to get into some responses of what other people think friendship is to them?
So this person has said a good friendship is someone who someone you know always has your back. Someone you can go months without speaking with and pick up like nothing ever left off. A friend that understands that life gets busy and sometimes you can't always talk, unfortunately. I have one friend like that whom I've been friends with since first grade. These kids. He was my best man in my wedding and is my kid's godfather. My only ride or die friend I would take a bullet for. That 10 out of 10 for me because
that's huge to have a friendship for that long.
Yeah.
I mean,
since first grade.
Yeah.
I met Eli my freshman year of high school on the bus.
Yeah, I think that's huge. And, you know, I think a big point of that is, you know, you can go X amount of time without speaking to that person, but know that if you pick up that phone, they'll answer, they'll be there, and it will be like there was no time lost.
Yeah.
And that's huge. I think that's huge because life gets busy and there's not always this time that we have that we can just be like, oh, let me go spend an hour chit-chatting with my friend. Sometimes we don't have that hour. I mean,
no.
You and I are lucky we have fairly decent drives to work, so I spend a lot of my time on my way to work either listening to a podcast or I make my phone calls. Like that's
or when Tuesdays check-ins.
Tuesday check-ins. Like that's when I have time to myself because I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not doing something for the kids, I'm not transporting them somewhere. They're not yelling and jumping around like they are right now upstairs. You know, that is just like, you know, we don't have that luxury now that we're adults and we have our own lives to have all of this like time to be like, yeah, let's go have lunch, you know, every week, or let's go hang out for a couple hours, you know, uninterrupted. We don't have that anymore. Like we are adults, we have lives, we have children's families, like everything going on. So to be able to have a friendship that you know that, all right, if I don't talk to them for a couple weeks, like they're not going to be mad at me. They're not going to like throw a fit. They're not going to give me an attitude when I do contact them. They just know like, hey, she's busy, I'm busy. When we talk, but at the end of the day, I know I have that person's back, they have my back. Like, they trust me, I trust them. Like, there's that whole thing in between. We just don't have to talk every day.
Did you realize, because I hear it a lot too, that people say like once you have kids and like, if you're like the first one in your friend group to have kids, you start to realize like who's going to be around, who's not going to be around, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because obviously, like, I mean, I had my daughter at like 28 and stuff like that.
David at 20.
Yeah, so like, you're still like super young and like, in that phase, like you should be going out and like having fun. And I mean, you're still so young to like have a kid. Like, did you realize certain friends that like stuck around and then some that just were like, oh, when you have your kid? Yeah.
Yeah, huge. When I had David, I mean, I actually, because I had him so young, at that point I still had like a big group of friends that wanted to go out and party and do this and do that. And it was hard when I couldn't do that. I was pregnant. I was in an abusive relationship at that point too. I couldn't really go out and do anything. I couldn't talk to anyone. I mean, it was not a good situation. So all of those things add into one. Like, I went through a time where I felt very alone. And I mean, I was lucky I had a few select people, but yeah, no, I lost a lot of friends. I just didn't, couldn't do anything. And then, I was lucky David has an amazing grandma and his Aunt Sammy and them who would take David on, weekends so that I could still have somewhat of a life.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was doing that and I could still go out, it was like, oh, wait, now I have these friends again, but they're my going out friends. I think the friendships changed. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, oh, I know I can call this person because they're down to go. I loved going to the club. They're down to go out to the club and go dancing. They're down to go grab a couple drinks. Like, but those friends were not the same friends that I'm hanging out with my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that was like a big divide too, because I'm like, okay, I know I can drink, party, and do that with you, but you don't care about coming to the park with my kids. Like, you don't care about going to the arcade. You don't care about just hanging out at my house because I don't have a babysitter. Like, and that was something that I realized, early on too, especially, when I had Manny and stuff too. Like, before I had Manny, I was bartending. I, was great. I was always out and about doing things because, that was the job I had. But after I had Manny and stuff, it was like back to that same thing. Like, hey, none of these people want to hang out because I'm not out partying. I'm not out doing these things.
The ones that I've like, I mean, now like older and stuff like that, having a group of friends that are like moms, they're a fun time. They're a fun time, especially like, well, that I got close with like a lot of the moms on Ari's like cheer team and stuff like that. So it's really fun because like, like some of us have more than like one kid and stuff like that. So it's like, hey, can you just like watch my kid and like that kind of stuff. And it's like a good support system too to have them. When she plays softball, there's a few moms on there that like I'll talk to and like, hey, how you doing? Like, how are the kiddos and stuff like that. But it does change like in certain friend groups of like that dynamic of like when somebody has a kid, everything just, I mean, it didn't happen to me, but I've seen it happen around me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, she just had a kid. Like, it's not a big deal. Like, I didn't understand. And then as I became a mom, then I got it.
Yeah.
Like, because I have a kid, now I'm not like fun. Because I like to stay in my house. Like, sometimes, I mean, some of the fun times I do have is like just hanging out with, even if you come over with the kids, like we have fun times with the kids at home, and then like they go to sleep, we can just watch a movie, relax and stuff like that. But I did see a lot of that. Like, she just had a kid. It's not like she moved across the
she didn't fall off the face of the planet.
Yeah, like it's just a normal thing. And then I start to realize like there's so many like teenage girls having kids at like 15, 16. Like, I can't even imagine the pressure. Like, now they don't have their friends, and like now they have to grow up,
and friends are everything at that age.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for them not to have that, I mean, yes, they have their family, and then they'll end up having friends that are like moms and stuff like that, but they're literally a baby having a baby because, like you said, those friendships that they have at that age is literally everything. They will like have a heart attack without
Mm-hmm.
them. And then if one of them has a baby, now it's like you don't have anyone besides like what your parents and stuff like that.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, and some of them will have that one friend that will stick around
Mm-hmm.
through the whole thing and stuff like that and still be like their ride or die, like, all right, you had a kid, like that's fine. Let's change diapers together.
Yeah.
Like that's just what it is. So like I feel like friendships like in high school they change and stuff like that. I do tell Ari sometimes like the friends you have in school, they're not going to be the friends you have forever
I say the same thing to David all
and
the
stuff
time.
like that. And then she goes, "Whoa, you and Theo Eli were friends in school." That's sarcasm my lovely daughter has. But and I told her I was like, because I got very lucky
Yeah.
that we are still as close as we are and stuff like that. But I've
Not my kids. They're like, we're not going to be like you, Mom. We're going to have friends. You have none.
so the stats from these kids, I can't take it. I can't take it with these kids. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I'm happy with all the friends that I do have in my life. And I feel like certain people come into your life for certain reasons. I feel like work best friends too.
Yes, that's huge. Mm-hmm.
I have one. She like, she had left and like me and her we like got really really close before I was dealing with all of this and I feel like she was meant to be put in my life for a reason and it's just been like an amazing feeling because I can like talk to her. I can call her at any time of the day and be like, "Oh my god, Flo, like I'm going through this and this and da da da." And like, even though she doesn't live close to me, we live like an hour and a half away from each other, but like we still make the time to like FaceTime and stuff like that. And it's literally like I'm talking to her while I'm washing my dishes,
Yeah.
like talking to her in the car and stuff like that. We could like the other night we were on the phone for like almost 2 hours just talking about the kids, like work, like stuff like that. But work best friends and work besties are like I have like so many of them. Those are my
I mean,
favorites.
I have one.
Yo, we need to get you out. There's apps for you to meet people to be friends.
Is there?
Yes.
Oh my god! Like online dating, but for friends?
Yes.
For real?
Yes. Or you can just hang out with me.
Maybe I'll have to get on that.
Unless you get sick of me. But
No.
there's apps
No,
for
that's like
friendships.
how it is with Zoriana and I. I mean,
Oh, I like her.
she's great.
She's
awesome.
such a gem.
I literally went back to work for New Hope partially because of her.
I'm telling you, work besties.
But yeah,
they're not spoken about enough.
Oh my god, I mean, yeah. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I've like called her, vented to her,
And
I
it's
just
not
went out with her
about
last
work.
weekend because I just needed to blow off steam. And she was like, sure, let's go out. Like, I don't care. Like, we'll go grab a couple drinks in the fucking snowstorm.
I almost out on my way home like 4 times, but it's okay.
But no, I mean, and there's been times I've listened to her and I help her through things. She's like, hey, can you read this text message? This is what I'm going through. Like, does that sound okay? I swear, Zoriana is the most kind person I've probably ever met because her text to this guy she broke up with, she's like, does that sound mean? I'm like, mean? Like,
I need to see this because
this
I'm
is
ruthless right now.
text. I'm like, mean? I was like, this is insane because this is so nice. It's nicely written. She's still nice, and I'm like, there's not a mean bone in your body.
She is
because
super
this
sweet,
is so
though.
nice. Like, I was like, you do not want to see how I argue with people because
Not
that would
me.
make you cry.
Not me. I'm ruthless.
No, I think that's huge. Work best friends is a big thing.
Yeah, it's not spoken enough. And half of the time, we don't even talk about like work.
No, yeah.
It's about literally
That's
like
a
life,
small portion of it.
relationships, like just little things. Like let's go on a coffee date. Like they're oh my god, I feel like work besties are like 10 out of 10 too. And if you find a good work bestie, they're like friends for life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so I have Zoriana, and then my other two best friends, Brianna and Amanda. I didn't meet them at work, but they kind of just came into my life at a time where
Telling you,
I needed it.
Yep. I feel like certain people are placed in your life when you're either about to go through something,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how I feel about my friend Fode. Like it literally like we're coworkers, and then like we would talk and text like every so many days, and it wasn't about work. We'd send like little funny like memes and stuff like that, and then like I started going through all of this, and it's like she's been there through it with me too, like through this emotional like roller coaster and stuff like that. I call her my little like cheerleader. She's like, you got this, like you're gonna get through it. And her one thing is she constantly tells me, I'm not gonna tell you that you need to be strong because there's days
I say that
that
to you too.
yeah,
I never tell you to be strong.
yeah. And then she'll tell me that like it's okay to cry. And a lot of people have been telling me that, but I think I needed to hear it because I had seen my nail tech today, and I think I needed to hear it from someone, kind of from a little bit of the outside, to
Yeah.
to feel that yeah, it is okay.
Yeah. I get it.
Sometimes you need that just random
Mm-hmm.
little person to tell you it's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. But work besties are
Mm-hmm.
our little soulmates too at work.
Yeah.
Any other kind of friendship you want to talk about?
I mean, my only other two friends that I have.
Like we're gonna find her friends. So if anybody is looking for a friend,
No.
even though we're friends, but she's technically my sister-in-law, but we're gonna find her a friend.
No. I mean, when I first met Brianna, I feel like when I first met her, she was picking me up with one of my other high school friends that we were friends with. Because Brianna didn't go to school with us, but we had one mutual friend, and this was when David was little, like baby, because I was still with his sperm donor, and we were going through something, and I needed to get out of that house fast because it, like I said, it was abusive, and I needed to get out of the house fast. And I remember she came to pick me up with the mutual friend that we had, and we literally hit it off, and we were friends ever since. We both actually stopped being friends with that mutual friend, and we were best friends. Oh yeah, we were best friends. I mean, best friends. We did some questionable shit together, but we were, I mean, as close as can be.
I did not know
Still
that.
and we've gone through phases. We went through a phase where, we didn't speak as much for a little while, and, went through our shit. But I mean, at the end of the day, I know if I ever needed her, she was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I love her to death. So we still talk.
Like
we still
too.
talk.
Do like her too.
And then Amanda. I mean, Amanda and I did not like each other at first. We did not. She hated me at first.
See, guys, I was not the only one.
You were not the only one. You were not the only one that started off hating me right off the jump.
I just thought you were a bitch. That was it.
But I think she probably thought the same. So she did not like me at first, but then once we became friends, it was like, I mean, we were so close.
You know what it is?
She helped me a lot through David's sperm donor too.
I feel like us women, we judge each other really fast.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was new. She was like the only girl that was in like this little group, and then my sister Brittany and I came along.
Oh, I love
my sister Britt was dating one of the guys, and I just came along. I was just there because Brittany and I were inseparable. So we, came into this group, and now we were like the new girls, and nobody likes the new girls. So Amanda definitely did not like me. But I mean, then she became a huge part of my life. I mean, she got me through
unexpectedly. I'm telling you, those are like the best kinds.
She got me through everything with David's sperm donor. I mean, that's all he is. But she got me through all of that. But same thing. We've had our phases. We've had times where we were not friends. But even in those times that we were not friends, I mean, when I tell you we have fought with each other. But I know at the end of the day, like, my secrets were always safe with her. I could tell her absolutely anything and everything. She would never judge me. And then not only would she never judge me, she would never repeat that shit about me. If I went and told her, like, I ended someone's life or something,
she's taking it to the grave.
She's taking that shit to the grave. She is not telling no one. They come looking for that person. She's like, I don't even know who that person is. It's like that meme or thing that went around on TikTok for a while. It was like, I'm blind in this eye and like 85% blind in this eye, so I didn't see nothing. Like, that is her. Like, she would never tell my secrets. She would never judge me for any of it. Like, nothing.
Yeah. No, I'm like that with Eli.
Yeah.
Like we're taking everything to the
Everything
grave.
to the grave.
We know what to do with each other's phones. Taking all of it to the grave.
Now that we were totally off subject, though, of our responses.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
But let's see what other people think about friendships.
Well, this person said, well, friendship to me means you have unquestionable loyalty and opinions. Good friends check on you or ask about your family and careers. You don't need to see each other often. But once you're together, things are as if it never changed. Good friends are people that show up for you, celebrate you, give you advice, someone that supports you and your goals.
I feel like the whole beginning of it was things that we've already touched upon, but I really like the showing support and like being your cheerleader and supporting your goals, because I think that's huge. I think a lot of people get jealous when they see a friend
Another person
forward,
succeeding,
or getting that promotion or being in that happy relationship, and they kind of get envious, and that's when people get a little evil, I think.
Yeah.
So if you have a friend that can support you and wants nothing but the best for you, wants you to get all of that, have all of the things,
or
and
even
all that,
someone that like once you're succeeding and stuff like that, they feel like their success is your success too, kind of thing. Or even if you don't succeed that goal and like you're just hitting the trenches and stuff like that, they're hitting it with you.
Yes,
they're like right there with you no matter what. Whether it's like career or family and stuff like that, like they're there for you too. I mean, I don't know about you, but I do like it. Like, they don't have to. Any of my friends don't have to, but like, I like when Eli just randomly like shows up. It's like something for like when she played soccer or like little things like that, or send me pictures of her at cheer. Jamie's come a few times to like some of her cheer stuff to the games, and like just seeing the kids excited to see her like cheering and like them being there is like everything to me, because those are little moments sometimes like you don't get back and stuff like that, but like to cherish that with your friends and family, I feel like that means like everything and stuff like that. So you want to get into cutting off people? Oof. We know how I cut people off.
We know how Ashley cuts people off. She just blocks them. I literally said before we started this episode we could talk about that, and she's like, oh, I don't know, I've never had to cut anyone off. I just block them. I'm like, that is cutting them off. If you have to block someone, you have cut them off. That is literally the definition of that. So, Ashley, how many people have you had to block?
I blocked the telemarketers.
The telemarketers. Well, they're not your friends.
Like recently, not many. I mean, you know me, some days I stay to myself.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just don't want to be bothered. But I mean, in the last like few years, not really. I really haven't had to cut people off. I feel like now, like we talked about in the last episode, how I've been like trying to find myself and stuff like that. I feel like in relationships, sometimes you lose yourself and you kind of move. You don't see your friends as often because you're so focused on your relationship. Now, the group of friends that I do have, like, we hang out and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. I haven't had to cut anybody off. No. I feel like
Have you ever had to like put some distance between you and a friend because they were acting like crazy or anything? Or
no, that's when I blocked them. But I haven't had to like really do that. I think I've just been like, all right, then if we don't agree on this, then we just can't be friends and stuff like that. So I'm gonna live my life, you live your life, and if I see you in public, hey, and we'll just keep it moving kind of thing, because sometimes that's what it is. Like if people there's a lot of people that don't agree with certain parenting things that you do, that they're just like, oh, if that's how you're gonna be. I am not one to do this gentle parenting crap. That's not me.
For another episode.
Yeah, and some people don't like that. Some people are like, oh, if you can't gentle parent, then we can't be friends. All right, cool, peace. Like, I'm not gonna I don't know. I really haven't had to cut people off. I mean, I think I'd be traumatized if me and Eli stopped being friends because it's like you took a limb from my body.
Yeah. My ability to cut people off in general is quite scary. I can be, yeah, I can cut someone off and it would be like I didn't even know them. It's quite scary. Actually, it
I
scares me sometimes
I
how
saw
good I am at that.
something. It was like a meme, and it says something about like I don't care how much I love you, but if I need to cut you off, I will cut you off, and that's the scary part.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
And that is me. Like that might be my toxic trait. Like I can cut you off and pretend like you never even existed.
like
I
they
will
fell off of the
walk.
face of the earth.
I can walk right by you and not even look your way. I will look through you. I mean, it's really not good. But I mean, yeah.
But I'm here for it though.
I can do that.
I won't piss you off to that point, but I'm here for it.
But you have to do a lot to get me to that point.
Yeah.
But when I'm at that point, forget it. No. I mean, Amanda and I had gotten into an argument one time. We didn't talk for like 7 years almost.
I don't think me and Eli have ever gotten into a fight that we.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like we'll agree to disagree on things, but never to like that extent.
Yeah, no, I've gotten in a fight with people and I did not speak to them.
Holy shit.
We could go from talking multiple times a week to I don't even know what you're doing. Like I'm bad.
Let me not piss you
That's
off.
probably why I don't have friends. Because I get to that point where I'm like, no,
thank you.
So you may block people. I just full on cut you out of my life. Like you never existed in the first place. Yeah, it's bad.
Hold on, let's yeah. Well, someone
again,
had.
Like, it's we have to get into a significant argument for that to happen.
I'm not gonna piss her off. Well, she's stuck in my family, so she ain't going nowhere.
Stuck with me, so.
Yeah, forever. Some person put cutoffs mean maturing, goals not being the same, betrayal, to name a few. I feel like the betrayal is a big thing for me.
I think that's a clear-cut one. Like that is a good reason to cut somebody off.
And to me, I feel like it depends on the kind of betrayal. Like how you had said, like, and I mean, you talk about this all the time, like we're dying with each other's like secrets and like everything we've talked about and stuff like that. So like to betray, you really have to.
Yeah, I think, like I said, I think that one's a clear-cut thing. Like you betray.
You have to cross a line that there's no coming back.
But what I find interesting about this one is they said they cut people off for. What was it? Not having.
First, it was maturity, goals not being the same, and betrayal, to name a few.
Like the goals not being the same, I think I'd have a hard time like cutting someone off for that. Like,
yeah, me too.
But I mean, I kind of think that that's awesome. Like you have a friendship, and if you see that, hey, like we don't believe in the same things, we're not driven, this person's doesn't want to get to the next level, this person doesn't have any goals or anything like that, I can see like why would you want to continue to have this person in your life if they're not adding any value? They're just dragging you down in a sense almost. Or not helping you get to the next level, or like there's no like I said, value. I can see that, but I don't know if I'd have the heart to cut somebody off like that. I might be able to put some distance between us.
I feel like the distance, because if they don't have like the same goal or are driven as you, I'm not your mom to like motivate you to get up, and like I'm not, because that's what I feel like. It'd be like babysitting, and I'm not going to babysit you. Like, so that I feel like you said, maybe some distance, because that's what you would need. But because I feel like that would just come down into like babying somebody, like, oh, come on, get up. Like you can, like, no, like we're grown.
Yeah.
Like, you know what you need to do. Shit's expensive out here.
Yeah.
The hell? Like
we can hardly afford eggs.
Oh, anybody selling eggs in those?
But yeah, no, I mean, I think that's awesome that because I feel like I said, if you get into a fight, an argument, like something big happens between the two of you, it's easy to say like, I cut that person off because X, Y, and Z. We got to fight about this. They did this. They slept with my boyfriend, whatever it may be. But those are like so clear. But to say like, oh no, we're just not friends anymore because
we're not on the same like goal.
We're not. Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like the distance would be fine.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
The distance would be, for me, would be like a thing like, all right, let's, we're gonna have to like whatever. But I feel like that's just like I would feel like I'm mothering them or something like
Yeah,
that.
if you were the one trying to motivate them.
Yeah, and I'm
Mhm.
I'm sorry, like I have kids, I have a job, like they're both gonna be doing sports this year. I don't have time to sit there and be like, come on, you got this, and then like you're still not doing anything about it. Like there's only so much energy I'm gonna give you for that. Like I'm not your mom.
Mhm.
I already got two kids.
Yeah,
I don't need a third one to
but
like
I would guess that's why that person cuts them off because they
probably
don't want to be that.
they don't want to be their mama.
Yeah, makes sense.
But I feel like the betrayal, like you really have to cross a line that there is no turning back
Mhm.
because there's only so much a person one can take and constantly forgive till your body's like,
Yeah.
no, there's
And I think
no.
that's the case across friendships and relationships.
Oh yeah.
A person can only take so much, and then once they are at that level and they're maxed out, it's like, I
The
mean,
bitch
what do you
is
expect at that
maxed.
point?
Yeah, because there's only so much you can keep taking over and over again that you're
Mhm.
just like, no. But I feel like in a friendship, if you cross a line that you cross that line, like that fuck the block button.
Yeah, cut off. See, you cut them
Your
off.
exit out of my life. Like take your belongings and keep it the fuck moving. I will tell my kids you went out.
Yeah,
Like I just know. And that sometimes that is scary because like you bring your kids around certain people and then
they
if
get
they
attached. They build relationships with them.
and then if they betray you in a way that like they shouldn't have, now you have to explain to these kids like why you're not going to see so and so or like stuff like that. Or I've had people that this has happened to them, like if somebody either said something about someone's like parenting and stuff like that and that person doesn't even had kids, how are you going to judge somebody's parenting?
Yeah,
Like she cut them off, she's like no, and I'm like good for you,
yeah.
because I would do the same thing because there's no there's a line, but the the goals thing, I don't know, I feel like maybe distance would be good, but the betrayal, you really then stay away from Sasha because
Stay away from me because it'll be like you never even existed on this earth.
like you don't even exist. She would take that birth certificate and just you don't exist anymore.
Yeah, my toxic trait, I guess.
That's okay. I'm here for the toxicity though.
I know. We'll have to do an episode on that.
I love that.
What's your toxic trait?
What is your toxic
Coming
trait?
soon.
Dun, 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 dun.
But yeah, now that we've established that I have no friends and Ashley has a bunch, um, that was
You make
good.
it seem
I know,
like I'm
I know.
over here like in high school with like all these friends and stuff like that. There's just like different people that I
No,
can.
I just don't have time. I don't have time or energy for people, so I will stick to my 3 friends. I'm good.
And me.
And you. You guys keep me sane, and that's all I need. So
Sometimes it's good to have like a really small
yeah,
group.
I
Of,
like
like,
having the small
people.
group. Honestly, like I know I always make fun of the fact that I have no friends, but I love it. I know at the end of the day, between the 4 of you guys,
You can call
like
anybody.
I can call any of you guys.
Anyone.
You guys are not going to judge anything I have to say. You're not going to look at me weird. You're not going to make me feel weird about whatever it is I'm dealing with. Like, and I'd rather that over having a big group of friends anyway. Like, I got you guys. You guys can come to my house. I know I can go to your house. We can sit on the couch, not say a damn word to each other, like, and
Watch a movie.
literally just be there. And like, that's that. And I will take that over anything.
Yeah, sometimes it's good just to have that small like group too. And like I said, sometimes like there's moms that just have mom friends
Mm-hmm.
and they can do like that kind of stuff and everything like that. I just have different groups of friends. I mean, I have a group of friends that I can do certain things with, and then there's other people I know I can't do that with them.
Mm-hmm.
So like I think that's why like I just have different friends that I can do certain things with, and it's okay. Some people don't like that because one friend will get jealous about that, and I'm like, yo, you got to deal.
Yeah, we don't have time for that. We're adults.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm grown. If not, then we can't be friends. Like take a hike. Oh, this is one of my besties.
So yeah,
But that was a good topic.
that was a good topic. You nailed that one.
Thanks.
That was all Ashley for that one. But that was good.
Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Yes, thanks for joining.
Give us any more topics you guys want us to talk
Yes,
about.
please email us your topics.
Any discussions, anything, to be honest with you. But thanks.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Thanks for continuing to listen as we work through all the things like us talking over each other and our mics and all that. Like, we appreciate it. Anyone who even just lets us, puts us on and, lowers the volume, but just lets it play for the views, we love you too. So thank you for that. My sister Brittany literally said that today. She's like, I just let you play in the background, so you had extra views. Thank you.
Her.
We love that.
Thanks, Britt.
But yes, definitely email us at everydirtydetail@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram. I do have a TikTok for us, but I have not uploaded anything yet, but we will do that. So follow us on those platforms as well.
I'm gonna have TikTok,
and subscribe on YouTube.
Yeah.
Spotify, Apple Music, or
I've been just sending it to people like a psycho.
I'm constantly sharing it. So please, any likes, shares, all the things. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And then, until next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.